Hey guys, what is up and welcome back to another video. Today we are here for episode number 29 of Goattville building. I actually checked the episode number this time, but of course it was after I did a little bit of a failed recording at first. So anyway, we are here back in the city once again to do some more, just keep working on it. You know, I'm still enjoying working on the city. Although I couldn't get a video out last week just because when the time came for me making a video, I was just like, you know, I didn't really feel like it. I didn't really have the time, but that was mostly because, you know, what we were working on, that skyscraper, it was like, what we were going to be working on was just going to be so boring that I decided, you know what, I'm just going to wait until a week later so we can work on something a bit more interesting. So that's exactly what's going to happen. We're not going to be working on that. In terms of that skyscraper, in terms of how it's coming along, we did get some more work done on it. In the last episode, we just built up the base and just got a general sense of the height, and I filled out a lot of the rest of it, and I'm not really liking the look of it. It looks very boring despite it having the same level of detail as everything else. It's just kind of a weird block choice, and things don't really seem to be fitting out right. Maybe when I put on the roof and the windows are darkened a bit, maybe then it will look somewhat better, but right now at the moment it's just looking kind of weird and out of place. But hopefully when I add in that other skyscraper there, it will seem a bit more realistic. So yeah, that's that. But you know, as always, I don't want to be doing this again because this would be a really boring episode just to fill in all of this stuff. So instead we're gonna do something more interesting, and that is this thing over here. This has just been in the background. I haven't worked on this part of the city in around 2 years, so it's probably about time I get around to it, because it's kind of a it's a bit of a critical part to the city, considering that the spawn of the world is right there, and you know, this is right there, so it would be a pretty good idea to get at least some work done on this, and it is part of the part of this whole square that I need to get done before I move on to the massive thing over there. But anyway, I just decided to work on here just because it'd be something kind of interesting to do, and because I think it would be a pretty interesting part of the city, and also it's not as massive as making a skyscraper. So if you don't know what this is just sort of the side kind of thing, you know, like all the city roads are basically just for cars and stuff like that to be driving through. And you know, you have the sidewalks, but you know, those are kind of, you know, it looks kind of boring. So I decided to make this little alleyway kind of thing, but it's a bit more inviting than what you'd probably expect. And you know, we're just gonna have this thing where there's a bunch of shops on the first floor, and then there's a bunch of like apartments and offices on the second floor, and it's just gonna go all the way down here. And I just think it would look, I thought those would be a nice addition to the city. So we're just going to work on this. I should probably stop talking before we waste so much time in the episode. We're already 4 minutes in. So yeah, we're just going to get started with something right here. And in terms of inspiration, I went on the YouTubes and I was looking for something, you know, some general ideas to what to build here. Of course, there's going to be something similar to that, but I stumbled across my good friend Jacob Lyons, and he made a tutorial a couple months ago for this sort of, you know, Parisian kind of building, and I'm not too sure what should I use for that. He's using the city texture pack in it, so the sandstone looks kind of darker. But I'm trying to somewhat transform it into something that looks a bit more modern, because the thing that he built in there would just look very out of place. So I'm just going to sort of base what I'm building off of what he's doing, you know, just because, you know, why not? And also, he wanted to start a city project about 2 months ago or something like that. He made a video about it, but he still hasn't gotten around to do it. So I'm going to leave a link to his channel in the description. I need you to go on that video and comment, you know, oi mate, get started on the city. We're looking forward to it. Yeah, because he hasn't uploaded a video since then. So anyway, I still need to figure out what I'm doing for this. I don't want to do another gray building because those are just kind of boring. So let's get an interesting color. Maybe like something like this, you know, a sort of gray-brown mix. Just for the corner of it. This isn't going to be the entirety of it. So we can do this, and it looks like he's got a small little pillar thing right there. Maybe we can add something like brown, another type of brown right there, or let's add some spruce wood stairs just to give it a bit more depth. And that's to a good length right there, and we can do something like that. And should we do it for the corner as well? Do something like that, or we can just do that and have that as 5, so that way this goes up and then this will go into something else. But it looks like it just has sandstones going throughout the entire thing, but we're not going to do that. We're going to try something a bit more interesting. About smooth sandstone. I'm not too sure exactly how that's going to look with everything else. It's already looking a bit out of place. Maybe we should just try like some sort of gray in terms of the center. It's good to have the this sort of brown color on the outside to give it some flair, but I think in general we need to keep the heart of it at the same. You know, the main part of the city, and the stone blends in way too much, and I already used that before. So we're going to use this. It's a bit more smooth and subtle. Yeah, I like this one a lot more. And at the bottom floor, it looks like there's going to be a window right here, like a 4 or 5 block window right there. And then it goes into another pillar like this. And then there's the doors and stuff like that, but I'm going to add another one just because we're sort of going for like the shops kind of vibe. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Perfect. And then we'll add another pillar right there. And then this is where the doors are going to be. So this can be something a bit more simple. This can just be 5 by itself right here. And these will kind of be maybe like these over here will be, that would be one shop, that would be a shop right over there. And this will be sort of the doors that lead up to everything in the middle. I'm not planning to do the interior, but you know, it's never a bad idea to have it all planned out just in case we get around to it. Let's see, how's this looking in terms of size? I think this might be a bit too wide, but I don't think that matters too much. Yeah, it's looking a bit too wide. I'm not too sure. Now I'm going to instead make those blocks 7, and then just readjust all of this. I don't want to make this video too long. I'm going to try making my building videos somewhat, you know, with the same amount of content, but at a shorter length. So I'm just going to stop rambling, and we're just going to fix this real quick. So yeah, I'll see you then. Alright, well that's definitely something that's going to stand out from the rest of them. I don't think it should be too bad. I mean, that one was made of all bricks, and it turned out pretty good, so you know, hopefully that one doesn't turn out that bad. I don't know why I keep going to that color. It looks really weird, but I still think it works. You know, maybe we could switch it out with something else later, but that's about as far as it's just going to go for the first floor. I didn't want to put in too much for that, but yeah, this is the first floor. It looks somewhat similar to the others, but that was kind of the idea. You know, we're going to have somewhat of a similar theme going through. So now we're just going to build up a little bit going that way, and also build in a little bit towards the length of the building to go out somewhere to around here, around where that one ends. So yeah, that should be pretty good. I don't have to put too much detail into this side because it's going to be going right up against another building, so we can sort of get rid of that a little bit. And yeah, I suppose we could just get right into that as well. So it seems that we're doing a jump cut right after, but actually no, you know, I still have to plan it out. We're going to plan it out real quick. That's why it feels so weird, because I didn't have a plan as to what I was doing. So in these ones, it sort of made sense in terms of what they were doing, but with this one, I'm kind of confused as to what I'm going to do with all of this. I don't want it to be too gray and boring, because, you know, we don't want to have something, you know, something rich and dynamic and stuff like that and just lead to something boring. So we're gonna have to try a couple things out that I'm probably not going to, you know, expect to use. So let's get into it. What could I use? Yeah, he just uses all sandstone for his. There's some gray towards the top. Maybe we can add that as some sort of detail into what we're doing. So let's get some gray concrete out, and maybe some, I don't know if white's going to look very good with this. So maybe we could just get varying levels of gray from the dark to the light. So we can do something like this. Just use these gray and see where we can go. Where can this take us? And maybe we should add a little bit of color by preserving this as it goes up. Would that be good? You know what, yeah, let's try it. So right here in the corners, we can have this go, you have a little pole is sort of like the darker color. That's usually what I tend to do. Have the darker color right here and on the end. And then let's see, we can have this going through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 to somewhere around here. We can sort of preserve the line that we have going up like that, or I mean, those are already off balance, so I'm not too sure what I could do with that. If I should probably just keep it going that way. Like maybe if we do have it go like 7 over, it goes like 7 like that way, so that way it's gonna form like some interesting V shape. I think that'd be pretty interesting. And then we can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 it is, and then go another 3. And hopefully this is in the right place. Yes, it is. And then right here, because this one's a particularly larger spot, we can do something interesting in here. So what could we do? What did I do over here? What do I do over? It's just repeating the same thing over and over again. So maybe I could try something different. You know, I don't really like that design. We can do something like this. It's going to take a lot of trials to see what I'm doing right here. So maybe we can do something like that, where it just has 3 right there. And right here it goes 5. And then right here in the center, we can have 3 again, and then another 3 here. So that's only going to be 4 there. This should be... oh, what's this? Is this going to look off balance? Wait, no, everything's already looking off balance, so it's not going to be that much of a problem. Let's try 3 again. And then that will make this 4. And then another 3 there. 1, 2, 3. And then the final 3 right there. Alright. Is this going to look good, or is there too much gray? I think there's too much gray. Oh dear. I need a better idea. Maybe we can just have one sort of pole thing going up the middle, like this. Like that. And that should be... hopefully that will make it somewhat better. A bit nicer of a look. Yeah, that's a lot better. Then we can use this color sort of here on the sides to do something like that. Put those right in the corner, so that way we can have the color going all the way up. And then those we can just keep with like windows and stuff like that. So let's get some, let's keep some gray out just because that's what everything else is. So we can do 2 like that, 2 like that, and we'll do another 2 there, and another 2 there. Perfect. And with that, we should just carry that design up a couple floors, and then I'll extend it out on those other sides, and then we'll pretty much be done. So yeah, I'll see you in like 45 minutes. And here we are. It's actually an hour later, so this is what I got. It's not completely finished, of course, with the exterior, although it is like, you know, very close to being finished. All I have to do is put some minor detail on the sides of it, but I think it turned out pretty good. It does look a little bit weird in terms of the weird, you know, shift of color right there, but I think it's good enough, and once we put in some other buildings, it will blend in with all that. So yeah, I thought this was something a bit more interesting for this episode than to just keep working on that, or to start another skyscraper like I have been for like the past 2 months. So yeah, hopefully in the next episode we can already have a plan done for that, and maybe we can try and, you know, actually I have no idea what we can do for next episode, but it'll be something good. Alright, so yeah, I guess that'll be it for this episode. Yeah, if you made it this far, comments, goats. I need to find a better one, you know, a better word to use, but goat's good enough until we find one. So yeah, I want to thank you all very much for watching, and I will see you later. Bye. Hey guys, what is up, and welcome back to another video. Today we are here for episode... I'm gonna redo that.